The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 773. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap-Chan, and today I have an amazing lady on the show today. She is the CEO of the Mindset Group, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Joni Rae. Joni, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more by yourself to the listeners.
Hi, Sheena. Thanks so much for having me. Hi, everyone. My name is Joni Rae. I'm the CEO of the Mindset Group, and it consists of a few different brands. One of them is Enterprise Mindset. I have a background in management consulting. So one of my businesses is all about helping organizations be more effective and efficient. So I focus on the people side of change. All of my brands and all I do is all about people, how people can become just the best versions of themselves, whether it's in their own lives, in their families, communities, or organizations. So that's one of the things I do. And then another brand I have is called Mindset Sisters. And I just got back, Sheena, from Bali. I led a personal development retreat in Bali. I live in the Washington, D.C. area, traveled to the other side of the world. And I really believe in people just being in a safe, authentic environment where they can build real connections with people. And so that's what we created in Bali for this personal development retreat. That's a little bit about what I do.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Joni, what's your cultural background?
My parents are Filipino, so I was born in California, Filipino American.
Thanks for sharing that. And what'd be your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote. Well, when I first saw that question, what's your favorite self-confidence quote? I just love motivational quotes in general. I'm one of those people who just binge and just look at all of the positive quotes on Instagram. And I don't have one favorite, but I do have a favorite quote that I take with me when I facilitate team building sessions and when I coach. I'm also an executive coach, so when I coach leaders, and the quote is, people support what they create. So what that means is, as a leader, or as I'm a mom of two daughters, whenever we're trying to get people to go along this journey or see a vision that we have, if we have them be part of the creation process, they're going to support it. So people support what they create is just the mantra I remind my clients, remind myself. It, of course, ties to self-confidence as well, because, as leaders, when we have a following that believes in us and we're part of a team, and then the team feels that synergy, that energy, it helps everyone's confidence. And on that note, Sheena, I told you I'm from the Washington, D.C. area, and the Nationals just won the World Series, which is a huge accomplishment for this area. And I'm so inspired by that quote, because that's exactly what they embodied throughout their season, and it took them to this world championship. So don't underestimate the power of your team and surrounding yourself with people who are going to lift you up.
Thanks for sharing that great quote. And I totally understand. It's like, I'm from Toronto, and so the Toronto Raptors won their first championship in like 24 years ever since they came out of the NBA. And it does make a huge difference when there's people out there cheering and like just, that energy that it creates, and it just gives us that confidence to keep going. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
I put on week-long workshops on this. So to tie it into a few seconds here, self-confidence is about really knowing yourself and being able to be quiet and still with yourself without being shaken by anything, including what other people think and even your judgments about yourself. I can't say that I'm 100% there. I feel like we're all on a journey. It's kind of like we're climbing this mountain and there's no top of the mountain. We're all constantly evolving, and that self-confidence is going to come with our experience and with the falling down and the perceived failures. And self-confidence is all about getting back up and doing something with those lessons and applying them. That's how I see self-confidence, is really knowing yourself and understanding that you're on a journey, and that journey is not supposed to look perfect, and having that grace with yourself and that forgiveness with yourself so that you can effectively apply those lessons learned.
Thanks for sharing that great definition. And Joni, what was your life like before you discovered self-confidence?
Well, like I said, I'm not 100% a full-blown confident person, and that I'm always putting myself in situations that are scary and big. So, for example, I'm putting on women's leadership and business conferences all over the country right now, and that it's a scary thing to do. And so, are we 100% confident in something we've never done before? Absolutely not. And I think part of growth and part of living your purpose is about putting yourself in situations where you're not comfortable and you're not confident. So I just want to preface the question and my answer to the question by saying, I haven't found 100% confidence. I don't know if anybody has. And that said, I do have a lot of confidence in myself, and that has come with a few things. It's come with experience. I just was telling someone yesterday, I was in management consulting at two really well-known worldwide firms, and it was a grind. It was stressful. It was hard. Clients were difficult. It caused a lot of anxiety. And you know what? It brought me to this better place of I'm confident, I'm strong, I'm able to hold my own in a board meeting and with executive coaching clients. So confidence is a journey. And I just wanted to say that before, making the assumption that I'm full blown 100% confident now. And to answer your question, how was I before the confidence? I tell this story, and I actually have a book on the Amazon bestseller list called You Got This. And it's actually called I Got This, not You Got This, called I Got This. And I think I said You Got This because that's another quote that I say a lot. I tell my listeners on my podcast, You Got This, and I tell my friends and clients all the time, You got this. Anyway, so the book is called I Got This, and in that book I talk about how insecure I was. I used to question every decision. I used to just want validation from outside of myself all the time. And I believe that just that insecurity came from me not celebrating who I really am, this strong, powerful woman. I wasn't able to see that. And then I wasn't always able to see that in other women as well. And it wasn't until I started really celebrating other women that I was insecure about, where I started to find my own self-confidence. And so today I'm really focused on building a sisterhood and tribe of women who lift each other up and help each other fly. Because the men have figured out how to do it, right? There's a lot of men at the top of the food chain and huge companies, and they're networked. And I just believe that we as women have the ability to do it. We just get in our own way because of these insecurities and because of that lack of confidence that I've known so well. We just need to stick together and have those authentic spaces like the one that I created in Bali.
Thanks for sharing that. And I think that's something we all can relate to, right? Especially as women, we feel like, well, like for me, I think it is important that we should stick with each other side by side. We feel like we're always alone, but we're not, right? We all go through similar situations. And if we can just, be more open and realize it's okay to feel that we feel, and, it's just like a season in our life, and we can overcome it. Anything's truly possible. And like you mentioned, celebrating other women. I mean, sometimes we feel like, we see something on Instagram or, social media and like, oh, I want to be like her. But, instead of saying like, or not, I want to be like her, it's like, oh, why can't I be like her? Or why does she get all the credit? Or, we get a little bit jealous at times, but we have to realize like, this woman is helping, women realize their potential, showing us what's possible. And instead of feeling like jealous or feeling bad about ourselves, we should celebrate that. And the more, like you mentioned, the more we celebrate on other people, like, we just attract better things in our life. And, because of that, what's your life been like now?
Well, now there's just infinite possibilities ahead right now. So, as I mentioned, we're putting on women's conferences all over the country. And, that's been just such a liberating experience for me because I've been on this mission to help women be more confident and to create this sisterhood where we help each other be the best versions of ourselves. So, my life now is just so fulfilled. My friendships are authentic, real, rich, and fulfilling. And I didn't have that before when I was really insecure. So my life is just awesome. I have an amazing husband, 2 daughters, and yeah, I just really don't have any complaints. It's been a long time coming. I was in a career that didn't really fulfill me for around 11 years. And now that I'm out on my own as an entrepreneur, I'm able to focus on things that I love.
Thanks for sharing that. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you'd give to her?
I would tell your listeners, to stay the course and know there is another way, another place. I just really believe in the power of sisterhood, community. Reach out to people. You don't have to figure this out on your own. And, there's a better place for you. Just reach out, and it's okay to be vulnerable.
Thanks for sharing those great tips. And if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do and check out some of your work, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
Sure. So my Instagram handle is jonirae.co, JONIRAE.co. Would love to see you guys there.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Joni, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Joni's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And really just want to thank Joni today for taking the time to share her story and tips with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Joni.
You're so welcome. Bye, everyone.
Thanks again. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.